All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Whichever time of day you're watching this video, I want to say thank you for taking time out of your busy day to come and watch this video and get a quick math lesson in. All right, so here's what we're going to do today, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I want to introduce two new terms, two key vocabulary words that'll help you as we continue to do some math. And the first word I want to introduce is called the commutative property. Now, that's kind of a big word, so I'm going to say it again. Commutative property. Okay? Now, you may be thinking to yourself, man, what in the world is a commutative property? Or some people might be like, hey, I already know what that is. Okay? But regardless, let's go ahead and look at some examples of the commutative property. Okay? If I have these numbers, 14 plus 16 plus 20, what does that equal? Well, I know that 14 plus 16, I'm going to do it up and down over here. So 0, carry the 1 over, that's 3. So I added the 14 and I added the 16. Now I need to add the 20. So plus 20, what does that equal? Oh, whoops. Yep, never mind, that's right. So that equals 50. So 14 plus 16 plus 20 is equal to 50. All right? What if I give you this question? What if I said 20 plus 16 plus 14? What does that equal? Well, I hope you realize that 20 plus 16 plus 14 is also equal to 50. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a perfect example of what the commutative property is. The commutative property of addition says that it doesn't matter which way you add up numbers, they're going to be the same. What I mean by that is, if I add 14 plus 16, which I did over here, and then I add 20, it equals 50. But if I add 20 plus 16, and then add 14, it's also going to equal 50. So the point of the commutative property is that it doesn't matter which way I add up three numbers, as long as I add them up. It doesn't matter if I add 14 plus 20 plus 16. It doesn't matter the order of the numbers, all the answers are going to be the same. Does that make sense? The commutative property says that it doesn't matter which way you add up the numbers, all the answers are going to be the same. Let's look at another example. Excuse me while I pull this out. What if I had 10 plus 5 plus 7? Well, what does that equal? Well, 10 plus 5 is 15, 15 plus 7 is 22. Okay? Now, what's another way I can use a commutative property to do this? 5 plus 10 plus 7. What do you think that equals? Well, that also equals 22. Because look, aren't the numbers the same? Don't I have a 5 here and a 5 here? Don't I still have a 7? Don't I still have a 10? So 5 plus 10 plus 7 equals 22. 10 plus 5 plus 7 also equals 22. Once again, in the commutative property, it doesn't matter which way you add up the numbers, all the answer is going to be the same. See, if I had 11 plus 0 plus 2, that is going to be 13. What if I had 0 plus 2 plus 11? What does that equal? Well, that's still going to equal 13. Okay? So once again, the order of the numbers when adding doesn't matter, and that's what the commutative property means. The commutative property means that it doesn't matter which way I add it up, all the numbers, doesn't matter which way I add up the numbers, the answers will always be the same. Okay? Now, let's look at the associative property. Now, this one is a lot like the commutative property, but it's a little bit trickier, the associative property. If I have an answer like this, if I have a question or an equation like this, if I see parentheses right there, 2 plus 7 plus 4. The associative property says I need to solve the parentheses first. Let me repeat that. The associative property says I need to solve, the parentheses first. That means in this problem, 2 plus 7 plus 4. Well, what's in the parentheses? What's in the parentheses is 2 plus 7. So this is actually going to be a two-step problem. The first step is I want to solve the parentheses. 2 plus 7 is equal to 9, right? So this is 9 right here. Now what I'm left with is 9 plus 4. What is 9 plus 4? 9 plus 4 is 13. Okay, you see how I use two steps to solve this problem right here? Okay, and this is what the associative property is. The associative property says I need to solve the question. In the question, I need to solve the parentheses first, and then I can solve everything else. Okay? I know that was a little bit confusing, so let's look at another example. What if I had 10 plus 3 plus 4? Remember, there's two steps to this. What's the first step I want to do? The first step is I want to solve the parentheses. So 10 plus 3 is equal to 13, right? Did I solve the parentheses? Yes. That's step 1. Now, am I done? No, because I still have to add a 4 to it. So I'm going to do 13 plus 4. That is equal to 17. So 10 plus 3 plus 4 is equal to 17. Do you see how I use the associative property to solve this? I added the parentheses first, and then I added the next number. Okay? So 10 plus 3, my first step, that's 13. Once I got that, I took that 13 and I added the 4, and that gives me a total of 17. Okay? Let's look at one more example of the associative property. What if I had 2 plus 3 plus 5? You tell me, what's the first step? What do I need to solve first in the associative property? Well, the first step, it says I need to solve the parentheses first. So 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, right? Step 2, I finish the rest of the equation. 5 plus, what do I have left? I have another 5 over here. 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. So what is 2 plus 3 plus 5? 2 plus 3 plus 5 is equal to 10. And I just used the associative property to help me solve this. All right? So this is our video for today about the commutative property and associative property. I hope that this makes some sense. If it doesn't, come find me and I will show you how to do this again. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye and good luck.